Welcome to Around the House, sponsored by Romac Building Supply. I'm your host, Don Magruder. If you like today's show, go to aroundthehouse.tv where you can sign up for our YouTube channel and our weekly newsletter. In this segment of Around the House, Jim Chaput, he's the manager of Romac Garage Doors, is joining us, and he's going to give some great tips and information on how to secure your garage and make sure it stays secure. Technology is changing in garage doors, and especially garage door openers and remotes, and it's not like it used to be, so Jim's going to give some great information. So with that, I'd like to introduce Jim Chaput. He's the manager of Romac Garage Doors. Good afternoon, Jim. How are you doing today?
Great, Don. Appreciate you having me on.
Well, Jim, if you to get things started, take a few moments and tell us about yourself and Romac Garage Doors.
Well, I started working with Romac Garage Doors in October of 1979. I used to do all the installing and service and installs. Now the business has grown very large, and we run about 20 trucks on the road and about 30 employees.
It is a good-sized business. If someone heard something on today's show and they had a question, what's a good number or contact for you, Jim?
Good number to reach me at would be 352-748-4575.
Jim, a lot of folks have no idea what type of garage door opener they have in their home. What are the primary garage door and garage door openers being sold in this area?
Well, we've sold a lot of the All-Star unit, MVP All-Star. Yep. We use a lot of linear LDCO 800s, and we do some LiftMaster openers.
What's the biggest problem you're seeing with most garage doors in regards to service through homeowners and such? What do you see most often?
We see a lot of situations where homeowners call in and they have issues with the door closing, photo sensor issues, remote issues, lockout switches. Maybe they don't have power to the opener and they might have a GFI problem.
Okay. So if someone goes press their button and it doesn't open, what's a couple, three quick things they should look at first, Jim?
Well, the main thing is to look at the wall station and make sure it's not locked out.
Yeah.
Then the next thing would be to see if that wall station's actually powered up. And if not, then you just want to check your power and make sure you have power to the unit.
Now, most people are used to the old standard remote, but things are changing and now have battery backup systems on openers, and people are using smartphones. What are people wanting to see more in their garage door openers and remotes?
Well, a lot of people are wanting to see openers that are like Wi-Fi, and just like you say, they want to be able to operate them with their phones and things like that. They have home automation, and they want to tie it in with their home automation. Our linear unit, you can actually tie it into your home automation through Z-Wave if your home automation is Z-Wave compatible.
Well,
Wi-Fi is probably the bigger one a lot of people use.
And Jim, the biggest thing is that most people fail to realize the garage door is the largest moving part in their house. For example, it virtually represents a whole wall that's moving, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong, but if that remote gets compromised, that could be a problem, couldn't it?
That's correct. That's correct.
And unfortunately, a lot of people use their garage doors as their main front door. You see that a lot, don't you?
Yeah, they use that as their main entrance. And, if they have it set up where, let's say, their remote got compromised and they're set up where they can operate it from their phone, they'd still be able to get in.
Now, Jim, how often, since people use their garage doors so much down here, how often should someone have a what we call a garage door tune-up on it?
Well, at minimum, once a year. But with the conditions and the weather and things like that in Florida, it should be lubricated more often than that and checked.
And what should happen on a garage door tune-up?
Well, the main thing is that it's lubricated and everything's adjusted properly, the springs are tensioned properly, and then the sensitivities are checked on the opener. And really and truly, homeowners should do that on a regular basis themselves.
And those springs are real important because if they're not properly tensioned, it's going to bind that door up, isn't it?
That is correct.
But Jim, you've brought a lot of neat things to show us. So we're about to head over to the Romac Show and Tell desk, and Jim's going to show us some new technology, some great gizmos, and some old stuff from garage doors and remotes. You want to stay tuned. See you in a few moments. Welcome back to Around the House, sponsored by Romac Building Supply. I'm your host, Don Magruder. We're with Jim Chaput. He's the manager of Romac Garage Doors. And Jim, the first thing we want to talk about, everyone sees this remote. This is the most popular remote here in Lake and Sumter County. But if someone were to take your remote, they essentially have a key to your house. How can you change this, or how can you reprogram your opener to make sure someone can open your garage door, Jim?
Okay, well, the first thing is if that remote comes up missing, what you're going to need to do is go to your wall station, and the smart button on this particular unit is right here at the center of your wall station. We use a special tool, basically a paper clip, and we just push it right in there, and we push that micro switch, and when you push that micro switch, the light on the opener will come on. You hold that micro switch in for 10 to 15 seconds until this light goes back off. And what that does, that clears the codes in the unit. Now, if you've got several remotes, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do that a couple of different times, clear them all out. Then the next thing that you would do, Don, is you'd pick you up a new remote.
Okay.
When you bring it home, basically, you push this same micro switch, but you release it. That puts it in program mode, and then you mash whichever button you want on that remote to operate that door. And the opener will grab that code. But to clear the codes, push the button in and hold it till the light goes out. To put a new code in, push it in and release it, mash the button on the remote.
And that's the wall station, and this is the remote. And I know you guys have a lot of those. You service a lot of these. One of the most popular remotes around here.
Yes, we do.
Now, Jim.
Now, the other thing, Don, is on this the newer unit, the linear unit, there's a smart button on the back of the opener.
Okay.
And all you have to do is push that button and hold it to clear those codes. When you go to program your new remote, all you have to do is push that smart button, release it, and then mash the button on the new remote.
So, Jim, basically, this remote, this MVP remote, goes with this MVP opener, and this new black remote comes down here with this new opener, and it's got a smart button back here.
Correct.
To do all that.
Correct.
Okay. While we're down here, I see this red handle. What's this for, Jim?
The red handle, that's your emergency release to put the door in manual mode. What that does is that basically releases the door itself from the opener,
okay,
so that you can open the door manually in case of a power outage or in case your opener would fail.
Okay. Jim?
This unit also, you can add a battery backup to it.
So if the thunderstorm or you have a hurricane and you have no power, you can open your door.
That's correct.
So, for example, if you're coming home from the grocery store with a lot of groceries and thunderstorm and it's pouring down rain, you're out of power.
Correct.
Garage door open.
Righto.
Hey, I know what these are, and I love them. I have them on my house. Explain to our viewers what those are.
Basically, this is your keyless entry. It's basically keyless and wireless, Don.
Yep.
It basically just gets hung on the wall. You basically put your code in this and then put it into the opener. So let's just say you wanted to program this. Basically, you follow the same method as you did with that transmitter. You put the opener in program mode, you turn this on, and then punch in your 4-digit code, and the opener will receive that.
And that way, if you have a child, a teenager that you can't trust with the key to the house, but you want them to get in, you can give them a code, or a service person.
Correct. Yard man, or if you're out of state or something and want to let somebody in, you can let them in with that.
And these are relatively inexpensive. The cost to put one of these on a home is about what, Jim?
Well, the unit itself, they run between $40 and $50.
And a cost of a remote like this?
Around $30.
And a wall station?
They're about the same as that remote. They're around $30.
And I think
between
we ought to
$30 and $35.
Talk about that lockout button, because everybody makes a mistake with that thing.
Sure thing, Don. Well, basically, this wall station, you have several features on it. One of them is this lockout feature. And basically what happens is if you're going to be gone, or let's say you're in for the night and you're not going to be going out anymore, you can take the switch and you can click it over into the lock position, and the door won't open it. No FM sound waves will open that door or anything.
So if you did lose an opener or a remote,
right,
and you didn't know where it was, and you were a little afraid at night, you could flip that switch, and no one could open that door, and you feel more secure.
That's correct. It's very convenient because it's got an up, a down, and a stop button, and then it also has a button where you can turn the light on the opener on and off.
And I recognize these. If something blocks these, it's a problem, isn't it?
That's correct. These are usually set up like so that the eyes can point at each other, and then there's a red light right here that comes on when they're aligned. And that's for your down sensitivities. And basically when these are out of alignment, the door won't come down. If it's open, it'll only travel about a foot, and then it'll reverse. Now, if the door is down, it'll open, but it won't close. If that happens, though, the way you override it is you go to the wall station, push the down switch, and hold it till the door goes through its full cycle and goes all the way down. That way you can still secure your home.
And the thing about so many senior citizens have been taken advantage by disreputable service companies. They'll have a broom inadvertently in front of this, and the door won't function properly, and they'll be charged a huge fee. Jim, we've got to talk about this. This is a hot item being used today. Real quick, what's this?
This is the LiftMaster jack shaft opener. It's model 8500. And basically what this unit does, Don, it mounts on the end of the torsion tube instead of mounting over the center of your garage. That way
you get more height than
the garage. Plus, it's a little cleaner install. It's setting on the side right beside the opener on the wall. Now, you have to have 12 inches of side room to mount it. But a lot of people like these because some people want to put lifts in their garage and things like that.
Amazing.
And that takes this opener and these other openers.
And it is amazing how people are stacking cars on top of each other in garages.
Yes, we see it a lot.
Jim, a lot of things have been covered. If someone had a question about any of this, how can they reach you?
Best way to reach me is at 352-748-4575.
And I want to thank you for watching Around the House today. And be sure to go to aroundthehouse.tv where you can sign up for our YouTube channel and our weekly newsletter. Plus, don't forget to catch Around the House, the column, in the Daily Commercial on Saturdays. Until next time, we will see you around the house.